So I've been in the real estate business for over 5 years at this point now, and I wanted to share some of the tips and wisdom that I've picked up over the years. This is very much my perspective on the job of what it takes to buy and sell real estate, but I think new agents in particular could pick up some good lessons from this. And maybe if you've been doing this a while, probably longer than me, would love to have a discussion, but maybe there's some good information, some tidbits in here. The number one thing that I think people forget is, first and foremost, this is a sales job. Everything you do is selling. When you're representing a client and you are trying to get their offer accepted, you are selling. Negotiation, it's all sales. It's all sales. But to be successful, you have to be able to sell. You have to be able to convince a buyer that you're, out of the hundreds of agents that we have in Bastrop, for example, the tens of thousands that you have in the Austin region. Why should they pick you? Well, you need to be able to convince a buyer that you're the right one for them to work with. I'm not going to get into the particulars, but I think the basis of being successful at sales is being genuine. You have to be comfortable with yourself. The foundation of it is building trust. And if you're not yourself, you're not comfortable being yourself, it's very hard for someone else to be able to trust you, to see you for who you truly are. So understand it's a sales job. You're convincing a lot of people to do a lot of things. To do that, you have to really, you have to study sales, and I highly recommend doing that, reading books on this, etc. But you have to truly be yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself. Second lesson I would say is that this is going to take work. There are many ways and there are many approaches to be successful in real estate as a real estate agent, but whatever it is, it's going to take a lot of work. And one thing I've heard from wise people, and I've seen this time and time again, is the work itself is not necessarily going to lead to direct results. I've seen this so many times, but you just have to put in the work and kind of trust the process, trust in your faith, whatever that may be, that it's going to come. And it may not seem like it's directly related. It may take months for your effort to pay off. It may seem like the success comes from somewhere something completely unrelated to what you're doing, but it's not going to happen unless you're working. You're picking up the phone, you're calling sellers, you're going out doing showings, you're making content, whatever it may be. Just keep doing the work, and the success is going to come from that. Another point I'd make is that this can be an extremely stressful job, like incredibly stressful. I think this is the reason why so many agents fail. Yes, if you're not selling homes, you're gonna leave the industry. But I think, to me, what I see is that I think what makes people crack is the stress. And again, that can be financial stress of, hey, I'm not closing deals. But when you're working with buyers and sellers and they're making such a huge decision and such a big transaction, if you've been through the process yourself, it can be very stressful, and you are having to take on and manage that stress for dozens of people, sometimes dozens of clients at a time. So in order to do that, you have to learn to manage your stress properly, and there's many ways to do that, but taking care of your mental health is critical, so you can be in that right frame of mind. Learning, having healthy habits and healthy outlets for you to decompress and to, again, manage that stress is really critical. I think with clients, you have to remember, again, this is they're trusting in you. They are putting a lot of faith in you. They need your guidance, but you also need to be, like any professional who's dealing with these high stress situations, you need to be able to also decouple yourself from it, and to depersonalize the situation. So, for example, if you have a buyer that's very stressed out and they're starting to take it out on you, you need to be able to just let that go, to kind of, I call it putting on your customer service hat and just being there, being supportive for them, etc., without taking it too personally. And you need to distance yourself and from results too. So, like, you can't be, some deals are going to fall through sometimes. Deals are going to seem like they're going to fall through, and maybe they come through at the last minute, but you need to be able to just kind of ride the waves, keep going, keep hustling, but being able to ride the waves and not let that stress get to you. That's going to be critical. So you got to remember, you're in a sales job. You got to remember it's going to take a lot of work, and there's a lot of ways to do that work. You got to be able to manage the stress. More practical things, I think content creation is one of the most important avenues out there. I'm doing it right now. You just got to do it. It is, in today's society, people are looking online. I've gotten so many clients from creating YouTube videos, from creating Facebook content. It's a great way to market yourself to buyers and sellers out there. Going back to my first point, though, you need to be yourself. To be comfortable with it, you got to be yourself. With all the imperfections and weird quirks and whatever it is, learn to embrace it and put yourself out there. And you're not going to be you're not going to be the perfect match for everyone, but there are plenty of people that are going to be attracted to that. And I think the most important thing with content is just to create it. You learn by doing. You learn by making mistakes. So don't be overly critical. Don't worry about overly editing your content. I always say, and when you're starting out, don't even watch your content. Just create it and publish it and put it out there. And I guarantee you, there's going to be people that enjoy it. Learn your market. So the confidence that you get when you can go into a listing appointment and you are trying to convince your seller to price at a certain point, at a certain price point, and not just because you looked at comps beforehand, but because you're looking in the MLS and you're looking at your hot sheets and you're checking out the market and previewing homes every day, and you know how long homes are taking. You know what's the price per acre in this area? What's the average price per square foot? How many other homes are on the market? What they're actually selling for. So know your market cold. The best way to do that is just spend time every morning in the MLS, see what's closed, what's listed, how many days on market, average price per square foot, all those things. It's pretty easy to do that, and it's a good way to spend some downtime and really know your market. The last point I'll say for now, and I hope you enjoy these videos, by the way. I've been wanting to do things like this for a while, but I'm at the point where I really feel the desire to work with other agents, with newer agents, maybe create a team at some point, maybe recruit people for the brokerage that I'm at. But to start with, I want to give some of my ideas, my advice, my experience to other agents out there who may appreciate it. So I'd love to have some discussions, comment, subscribe and like, of course. But the last thing I'm going to say, and it's what I'm doing right now, is find what you enjoy. So I love making videos. I love creating content. I spend a lot of time doing it. I really enjoy working with all types, but I like selling land. I found I really like selling new construction, both from individual spec builders and then working with buyers that are purchasing from like your Lennar, your DR, your Perry Homes, your production builders. Those are things I like. So I'm going to create content around it. I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to try to attract buyers and sellers that are in those fields. But there's so many different niches within real estate. You can specialize in one, two, all of them, whatever it is, but find, and you're going to only get this through experience, but find what you really enjoy, find what you really love, and it's just going to make your whole career so much better and so much more enjoyable and successful. Thank you for watching, and hope to have some more content like this in the near future.